Okay, so Forest of Hope Day 2 is where the run really starts. Day 1 is pretty much just so optimized. It's a pretty slow day, not much is really going on. This is where the real run begins. So first we're going to take out everyone, all 25. I'm going to throw 2 Pikmin on here, one to break the flower and one to grab the pellet. Then we're going to swarm with the C-stick, and then... Now most of the time they're not all going to grab it, so we're going to want to hit X to dismiss. And we're going to want to grab this flower too. So what I like to do is I like to actually, while I'm holding the C-stick with my thumb, actually just like sort of move my hand over and hit X with my my pointer finger. But whatever works for you. And for C-stick throwing, what I like to do is I actually move my left thumb over to the C-stick, since you're not going to be moving Olimar while you're C-stick throwing. I move my left thumb off of the control stick and use it for the C-stick. So the start of this day, just gotta wait for this gate to get knocked down. So we only have 28 Pikmin right now, so the first thing we're gonna do is grow a lot of Pikmin. We're gonna want to kill these guys and grab that 10 pellet. Now there's some pellets over here that we want. Now, another thing to pay attention to is if you got a pellet drop from those bulb orbs. If I did get a pellet drop, I would not grab that yellow pellet. But you want to put the minimum Pikmin on everything you can here. You want to make sure to grab everything that I do in this run. It's you should have exactly enough Pikmin to grab those 3 1 pellets, both bulb orbs, that bulb orb, and the 5 pellet. I like to punch these flowers. You can knock them down with Pikmin when you return if you would like. It's not going to make a big difference in terms of time. So now we want to go back, grab the Pikmin from the landing site, and use them to just clean up everything else. Now, as I said before, the deciding factor with time is what finishes last. So, whatever finishes last, you want to speed up as soon as you can. So what's going to finish last in this section is the plucking. So it doesn't matter how fast that last 1 pellet gets back, what matters is how quick you can start the plucking. So you want to grab everything and then get back to the landing site and start plucking as quick as you can. So we grow between 77 and 80, let's say, depending on the luck you get from pellet drops. We got 79, so that's pretty good. So here we have Nectaring. Now this is going to be very important. You want to put your camera overhead like this and just swarm them in a circle. You want to make sure as many as possible grab that. If you can get your total, like all the ones you have under your control in it, that's pretty good. The 5 that are plucking nectar, it's impossible to control them, so don't worry about them. If you can get, you know, 70-something flowers, you're good. So have everyone knock down this gate. If you want to spare the 3 Pikmin, you could put 3 on that bridgeway in the background. That'll save a bit of time on the return trip to Forest of Hope, but it's it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it too much if you don't want to. Okay, so now we're gonna start growing yellow Pikmin. The best thing to do here, you want to kill that guy, chop down one flower, and put a red on him. And then let's activate the yellow onion. So now, if you just circle the C-stick around a couple times, you'll get your Pikmin in a really tight swarm. So you want to do that and then swarm him. It'll reduce the time from the first one attacking him until all of them are on him. It helps out a lot with killing the big bulborbs. So if you want to, you can also throw a red to help out with carrying stuff faster. It's not a big deal. It's hardly gonna save anything, but it definitely does save some time. Don't worry about it too much. So now you're going to want to pluck 2 yellows. Throw 2, make sure they're both yellows that you throw on that. And now you want to make sure that the yellow grabs the 1 pellets before the red. Because if the red grabs it first, they're going to take it to the red onion, and we don't want that. That goes for those ones right by the onion as well, if you're going to be doing that. But it definitely applies with that last one. You definitely want to have him helping out for that one in particular, because it's so long how far it has to go. So now this should bring us up to 15 yellows. Ideally, this is all the yellows we'll be growing for the entire run, but chances are some are gonna die. Let's be honest here. So while we're right here, we're gonna knock down this gate. That's just gonna save some time on the return trip. Makes the route work out better because you don't need any yellows. So there is a text box that comes up when you approach a part, so it saves a little bit of time to know exactly where that trigger is and stand just outside of it. It's pretty small, don't worry too much about it, but you want to make sure that only reds grab it. 1, because they're flowered, and 2, so that you can get yellows to grab bombs. So that was the noon message. If you get it moving by noon, you know you're on a pretty good pace, let's say. So, more nectar. We want to get all the yellows flowered if possible. Nectar is random in this game. How much you get from each grass patch. We got pretty good luck here. We got everyone flowered. So I'm going to touch 3 bomb rocks and then throw them here. Now, you want to hold your whistle out as they fall. This will guarantee that they all drop their bombs. If you don't do that, there is a chance that their bombs will just simply not... they'll just come back to you with their bombs. I like to take these out. It's only takes a little bit of time and they can get in the way. So another thing that you really want to just have memorized pretty much is how many bombs does it take to take out each type of gate. So these black stick gates here take 4 bombs. So now we're just gonna swarm all these guys. Not much to really say about here. So when we get here, we want to dismiss, and we want to put 4 yellows off to the side, because we only need 11 bombs. If you feel uncomfortable with your bombing, feel free to get a couple extra bombs for safety. So now you want to put exactly 30 on the Nova Blaster. You want to throw 2 bombs up there. That will be explained why when we get there. So now we're going to come over here, dismiss our Pikmin here. Hopefully they're not going to grab the Nova Blaster as it comes by. Now we want to grab our Bomb Rock Pikmin and blow up this gate. Now if you don't feel comfortable with throwing this many at once, you don't have to. It's not a big deal. You'll do perfectly fine if you only throw, say, 3 at once, and then you 3-cycle the gate. You'll do just fine. So that was actually really great luck that we killed the purple guys. The purple grubs are very annoying. If they bite one of your Pikmin, they will not let it go, even if you have like 50 Pikmin swarming it and attacking it. They will not let it go. Your Pikmin will die. However, if you throw a Pikmin and you crush it, it will instantly die no matter what. So you want to stand back and throw Pikmin on the purple grubs and the bulborbs. So the radar takes 20 Pikmin and the bolt takes 30. So you want to make sure that you throw at least 20 up there, but also make sure that you have at least 30 left to grab the bolt. So now we're going to come back, grab these guys, and go over and get Shock Absorber. So throw them up here, because obviously Pikmin can't survive through the water. Okay, so when you throw Bomb Rock Pikmin, you cannot whistle them. You must touch them. If you touch them, they will come back to you with their bombs. If you whistle them, they will drop their bombs. So you have to touch them. However, if you dismiss them with X, then you can whistle them without them dropping their bombs. This is important to know. We have time, let's go over that right now. If we throw this guy, and we dismiss this guy, if you look closely, the one we dismissed has that little glowing flower. And the one we threw doesn't. So the one we threw, we have to touch him, or else he'll drop his bomb. But we can whistle this guy just fine, and he'll just come back to us with the bomb. So what I like to do for taking care of this guy is throw 2 bombs at once and whistle them. Now, I actually messed that up there. That's not good. Ideally, both bombs would kill him, and he would be instantly dead. Unfortunately, you're going to have to kill him by throwing Pikmin on him. So, a good thing to note about throwing Pikmin on bulborbs versus swarming, I would say you have to have at the very least 50 for swarming to be worthwhile. If you don't have at least that, you should throw Pikmin on. Okay, so the main objectives for this day is to grow your 15 yellows, grow around 80, 75 to 80 reds, and get, at the very least, 5 total parts. So it's okay if the shock absorber doesn't quite make it. Don't worry too much, because you'll still unlock Forest Naval. But it is of course best if you can get the shock absorber back by the end of the day. So I'm just gonna flower these guys up. It's best if they're all flowered, but it's not a huge deal. A Pikmin trip in the cutscene. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Oh yes, I never mentioned that. Pikmin can trip in this game. It's random whether they trip. You can, if you pay really close attention, you can probably see them tripping. If you see a Pikmin trip, there are 2 things you can do. I'm not going to say the best thing, because it really depends on the situation. One thing you can do is just wait it out. Just wait for them to get up. Normally, that's not the best thing to do. It's faster to dismiss Pikmin. Here, let's see if we can make a Pikmin trip, and I can see if we can make a Pikmin trip, and I'll show you what you can do about it. I feel like I should talk about this now, just while we're on the subject. I'll just want to show this off. So we're just going to kind of wait around for a Pikmin to trip. It doesn't happen often, but it definitely can happen. Okay, so there it is. So it does take a while. You can just wait like that, or the next time one happens... There. You can dismiss, and he'll get up immediately. So that's normally what you'll want to do if a Pikmin trips. Okay, so I would definitely recommend keeping a save on day 2 and practicing that down until you can get all 5 parts that I showed off done by the end of the day. I would recommend practicing that and not moving on to day 3 until you can get that down. At least most of the time. You need to have, at the very least, I believe it's 65 reds for day 3, and if a yellow dies, you can grow it at another time, but you would like to have all 15 still alive if possible. So that's day 2. Guess we'll move on to day 3 next time.